Today's sermon, Trusting the Will of God. Reading from the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verses 1 through 12, by Pastor Brian Carpenter.
I want to talk to you from this subject matter today, trusting the will of God. I didn't say trusting God, I said trusting the will of God. You know, we say that word trust sometimes, folks start to break out in hives sometimes when you're talking about trust. You know, that trust thing, we can go back to relationships, or we can go back to so many different things, and we envelop that word trust that has taken us to a whole different dynamic. You know, a few months ago, they told me I needed surgery. I knew it was going to take a few months for me to recover. Although I had all these issues for over the years, I had to think about it and be sincere about what I need to do. Although I was thinking about my health, I was thinking about some of the things I need to do, but I'm thinking about losing my position at work. I'm thinking about losing the church in itself. Are the people am I going to be able to trust the people to lead while I'm not there? Will there be a church when I come back? I mean, we just don't know. All these different things going on. Who's going to preach every week? Are they going to be able there to, is Diddy going to be able to set the chairs up the way I like it? I didn't talk to him about it. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. Who's going to run the camera? You think about all these different things that are going on in your life, and God's steady working with me through this season. And I've said, okay, God, what is it you really trying to get me to do? And like I said, I trusted God, but I didn't trust ultimately His will. So God spoke to me in my spirit, said, if you don't sit your tail down, I'm going to sit you down. So I'm thinking about it. Now I've been going for 7 years. You went to school, you didn't start a church, you got all these different things going on your job. You got to deal with your family, all these different things, and you have not done half the things I've asked you to do through our meditation and prayer. So He sits me down, and I say, okay, now my life is kind of shattered now, because I'm thinking, now you done set me down, now I got all these different things going on. I'm still halfway worried about these things, but it was something that a pastor friend of mine sent me a couple months ago. He sent it here to the church. It was a box full of books, and I read, I sat back and I said, I'm going to read these books, but time always gets away from you, don't it? I got to prepare for this. I got to do this and all this. So God said, I'm going to sit you down so you can get back into a right relationship with me. So I sat down and I started reading these books, and lo and behold, God started speaking to me in a whole different way, because I wasn't ready to receive Him in that way. But I had to be in a place where I'd be broken, where I can just only have the chance to sit and look up to Him. I can't move around. I got to depend on folk. I got to wait on folk to fix me dinner. I got to wait on this and I got to wait on that. The donuts ain't got here on time. I'm going through all these different things to get me to a place where I'm trying to really lean on God, but I'm really leaning on other folk because I need the help, right? So when you say that, then I say, okay, all right, Lord, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to wait. To say the least, it's not one of my strong points, just to sit back and wait on God, if I could be honest. But how many of us can truly say, not only do we trust God, but trust the will of God? I mean, we ask ourselves, I trust you. Yeah, I really think I do, but do we really trust the will of God? And I know, like many of us, I can go tell God what I want. I'm good at that. Boy, listen to my prayer like, God, I want you to bless my house. I want you to bless my finances and all this. But do I trust His will? See, that's two different things, because He said, now you can trust me, but do you trust my will? Because sometimes when you get yourself into trusting my will, things ain't going to work out the way you wanted them to. That job ain't going to open up that you thought was going to open. Your kids may not be the best kids. You may even have all kind of stuff going on in your life. But it's the will of God. You're doing something in your life that's making you go to that next level. Solomon helps us, and he gives us a roadmap as to how to trust God, but only trusting God and His will as well. And he said, the first thing you can do, like I said before, you got to trust Him. He said, you got to learn how to trust Him. Trust means I got to have confidence in Him. Now, you think about it sometimes. Now, we trust God sometimes. Sometimes we don't really have confidence in Him. Now, I know something's going on in my life. Now, I say that I trust you, but I don't know if I really have confidence in you. Although the word says I'll never leave you nor forsake you. There's something about that leaving me, because every time I call you, you don't respond sometimes. And can I get a witness there? Sometimes I'm sitting there thinking now, I'm trying to have confidence in you, but I don't. You know, sometimes I got to be honest with you. That's why sometimes the word tells us we got to go to God boldly. Sometimes when we go to God boldly, say, man, I'm not feeling this thing right now. Right. Okay, but that's also those things we've been vulnerable. David did it all through Psalms. He was sigh at the beginning, but he would be worshiping at the end. He would pour out his heart to God because he knew, you know, he's bringing me through my storm. I got to believe God, and I got to have confidence enough just know he's going to do it, right? But trusting in something that I can't see. Now, come on, God, you got to be kidding me. Now, you think about it, that's why unbelievers stay where they are, because they need something tangible that sits in front of us. But when we look at it sometimes, we see the evolution of God everywhere in our lives. We see, you know, the seasons change. We see that he said in his word, didn't he? Didn't he say there are going to be signs of this, there are going to be rumors of that? We're going to see healing in our lives. So, man, I went in there and I was about to go to surgery, and I said, okay, Lord, I'm going to pray to you. But I had to have a confidence to know that the folk around me, they weren't Christians, but they were professional. So they understood that they even though we're not be on the same plane spiritually, they got to understand they still got a job to do. We as Christians are the same way. Although we may not believe the same thing, we may not have the same confidence that we have. That some of us may pray the walls down. Some of us can only get out 2 or 3 birds. But the thing about it was, I got confidence enough, even in the parts that I know, that God's going to take care of it. Amen. But you know, trust leaves us vulnerable, doesn't it? You know, it leaves us vulnerable now because I don't feel where I am. I got to trust, you know, something about, you know, the truth that I can't see. But as spiritual as we are, we trust our jobs, don't we? We trust that job, don't we? Boy, I tell you, when that check comes in every 2 weeks or whenever it comes in, I know that check's coming, don't I? I mean, it ain't been a week that I missed. And it's funny because even when I was on leave, and I'm sitting back and I still worried about that check coming in. Although I know I'm covered. I just know that I just want to make sure my money's right? But I trust in that. That's tangible. That something going to come, right? And even our jobs. We trust money, our jobs. We even trust folk around us. Sometimes more than we do God, don't we? If we're going to be honest. You know, we'll trust that chair before we trust God. How many of us flip the chair over and see how much weight it can take before we sit down? We sat down, didn't we? We didn't think nothing about it. And God's getting us to that same place. You got to sit your tail down on my word and just know that I'm going to comfort you whenever you need it. I'm going to take care of you whenever you need it. You ain't got to worry about it. You ain't got to check and see if I can handle this. God already knows what you're going through in your life. It ain't nothing new to him. But he said, I just need you to trust me enough to know. But this time there it comes. And it comes into a head in our hearts, don't it? You know, trusting like we're vulnerable. Our most important beings now, we got to rely on God. Everything has to now be trusted upon him. And after the surgery, I was left by myself. Everybody would leave and go to work and off to school, and I'd be sitting there bored. And I got real acquainted with the remote, and I made sure I had fresh batteries and all this, and that started getting on my nerves. I'm reading, you know, but then I start getting my repetitions in. Well, my repetitions, I go in there and I start reading. I got through one book. Man, this is great. Get through another one. But all through the time, God's just speaking to my spirit. And I said, man, this is what I've been needing. That's what I needed in this season, you know. And I'm trying to trust you, but God is just reiterating at every point. So, but I needed every aspect of my life. I was dependent on other people. These things weren't normal. And I wait on Sunday. The deacons give me the report. Okay, we're doing good. Okay, we're doing all this. Okay, it gives me the confidence I need. I'm going to start reading the next book. You know, then I'm thinking about my job. Am I going to have the same job when I go back? And ultimately, I got demoted. Oh, man, this is messed up. You know, but I said, okay, think about all the work that I've done through this job. You know, you're talking about a $20,000, $30,000 difference, you know, on a yearly. You know, I'm thinking, wait a minute, most folk would, you know, collapse under this. But I said, no. God, I'm thanking you for the door that you're about to open for me. I know this is just a season that I'm in. Because, see, it's easy to sit at home. You ain't got nobody encouraging you, lifting you up and going through all those different things. So I'm sitting there like, no, this ain't going to work. But I said, God said, and I'm waiting on him in this season. God's going to open up that door for me. I don't care about that job. I understand this. I still have a job. I'm just not made in a position that I had before. Who cares about that? Because I I know God's got to put some things together while I'm off. Move some folk around. Some folk will get fired. Some people going to get moved around. And lo and behold, it's going to happen. So God's going to make sure of it. But God was showing me that I needed to trust him more. Than me less. I need to be dealing with me, because me is going to be all over the place because I got too much time on my hands. See, that's what I'm talking about. When you don't trust God, sometimes you'll fill that void in with everything else. So I'm sitting there, I'm vulnerable, right? So we got to learn to trust him, right? But then he said, you got to learn to lean. We got to learn to lean. He said, do not lean on your own understanding. Whoa, wait a minute. Wow. Wait a minute. Now you get into my comfort zone. Now you're talking about all this that I got in my life. Don't lean on my own understanding. As spiritual as I am. He said, yeah, that's exactly what I'm telling you, because you're in the wrong place. He said, now you, not only that, Solomon warns us, he said, not on to lean, which means support yourself, or something which in this case, your own understanding. Don't rely on what you think. Even though you may think that's what God's telling you, sometimes we'll think ourselves into a place that God didn't tell us to go. The folk today, God told me to do it. No, he didn't. You want God to tell you that, but he ain't told you that yet, right? But he said, too often, the complexity of our situation causes us to think in ways that are not of God. You think about it, sometimes some of the stuff that's going on in our life, it don't have nothing to do with God, but we're so caught up in it, that we think it is, it's our life. You think about the last day of Empire. My God, I'm sitting there living this thing. I'm going through all the commercials. Get back to the point. I mean, get to the point where I'm counting the minutes in between the commercial break, because I know I ain't got but so much time left of Empire. Then it goes off. Man, my life is shattered. But that's how we get it, don't we? Sometimes we get so consumed with the outer things that are going on in our life, we detach from the reality. And that little bit of 30 minutes worth of Empire that I got, I still got reality that I got to deal with. And that's what happens. When we don't lean on God, that's what happens to us, because we get so into ourselves, we miss God altogether. He said, you got to learn how to lean on me more. That means not only am I trusting God, but I'm going to put my whole weight back on him, because I understand he ain't going to let me go. I'm his child, just like that baby girl in her arm. I ain't going to let you hit that floor. No matter what's going on in your life, God said, I got you. And not only that, I got you wrapped up. And we ought to take this journey. But our desperation for answers sometimes make us jump ahead of the will of God, don't it? I'm desperate to get myself out of this situation. So I go out and do things that are not of God, just because I'm in a hurry to get to the blessing. We'll go out and do things sometimes. We'll run out totally in front of God. Totally messed up. We know it's wrong, but we do it anyway. Then we're going to go back to God and ask him to come back and fix it. He said, if you just sort of waited just a little bit longer, I was going to take care of that for you. But since you did it your way, now we got to go the long way around it. Some of our children, they go out and make decisions that are not of God at all. After we done told you, why don't you come to me before you make that next purchase, son or daughter? Just come to me first. Come and lay on my wisdom first. Oh, man, but I seen it had nice rims on it. It had radio, back in the day. All we was concerned about was how it looked and did the music get loud. That's the only thing we was concerned about. And we end up with junks and hooties and all that. But we made them look good, right? So now we're in this season where God said, no. You got to lean on me now. You got to learn a little more understanding, because your understanding is a little frail. And it's a little immature. So come back to me. But I need a car. No, you don't. You want a car. Because we got rail systems. We got cars. We got buses. We can get you there if you need to. Wait on the right time. But it don't happen, do it? Our emotions trick us into thinking what in our mind is right. I get so caught up in what's going on, I lose God altogether. Leaning on God. We got to learn how to lean on him, trust him in this season. And he'll ultimately give us what we need. But as I talked about before, many of us had cars back in the day. It was mandatory. We had these pillars like in the front where we could lean on. Right? We always wanted, we would lean so far until we just like slightly legal. So when we ain't just lean a little bit, we lean on the men's side council there. And then we got so jazzy, our women would get on the other hand rest. So we both leaning to the point we can barely see over the dashboard. We think we really doing something. But that was the point that made us comfortable, wasn't it? You know, you think about, we thought we was the coolest things. Brakes couldn't have, we couldn't have hit the brake. We just leaning, baby. But that's what God wants us to be. You lean on me so it's so uncomfortable, but you're so cool, and you just know God gonna guide it. Man, I'm gonna lean on you, and we come down the street, boy, and you know, 38th Street, boys used to be wide open, boy. Come through with your park lights on at night. No, you're supposed to have your headlights on, but you thought you was so cool. You laid back, boy, I tell you. And that's what God has asked us to do. Put yourself in a position where it may not even look right to other people, but it's comfortable for you. And when you get yourself in that place, somebody else will join you in the journey. They may be just as uncomfortable as you are, but while y'all riding, boy, we just as comfortable as we can be. Only thing folks can see is the top of your head. Folks like, man, couldn't nobody be driving that car? I'm leaning so hard. But you got to understand this. He says not to depend on understanding, right? But human understanding is darkened by our sinful nature and our spiritual blindness and our hardened hearts. That's why we can't lean on him like that. You know, because we got this, everything else is going on. Our past comes up, everything comes up. Well, I can't really lean on you, God, because I'm thinking about everything else that's going on. But how many of us in there just trying to lean on God, but our emotions in the way? I mean, can we be honest? Some of us, we trying to lean, man, that's uncomfortable, man. That makes me feel vulnerable. I can't be there. But God says, no, that's exactly where I need you to be. I need you to be uncomfortable in this season. I need you to be thinking about me all the time. I wonder, how you going to put this thing together? Don't worry about how I'm going to put it together. You just stay your tail in my word and watch and see what I'm going to do in this season. But the last thing he said, you got to enjoy the ride. So you done got your lean on, you start to trust God, and everything is going on. He said, but in all your ways, acknowledge him, and he'll make your path straight. He said, wait a minute, what you talking about, man? He said, not only that, he said, if I seek God before I make these decisions that I make, I got to seek him before everything goes on, because if I'm seeking him, I understand he gonna make that deal go through. He gonna make me keep my house. He gonna make me get that increase that I need. He gonna open the job, that job I've been looking for. Sure he is. Because I went with him first. I acknowledged you. And one of the things he helped me in my job was this. Although I know God was working in my life, I never hardly acknowledged him on that job. I knew God was leading me. I knew he put me there. I had all the tools that I needed. But I always thought about this, man, I'm doing this thing. We number one in the city. But I never gave God the acknowledgement that he needed. That's why he said, sit down and watch and see what I'm going to do for you. And when I go through that, now I'm humble now. God, man, I know it because I'm in a season where my pay has got adjusted. But I just know this, God, you already gave me enough of a surplus. I ain't worried about that. That's the last thing. I'm worried about a pay cut, man, please. Because I trust him enough to give it back to me. He said, thank God for every step that I take. How many of us, even when we're going through our season, God, I just thank you I'm able to walk. I tell you what, if you can't thank God in this season, go over to some of these hospitals and sit in there sometime, and when you got to be wheeled around, you see folk in there with no legs and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, I thank God for every step that I take now because I done been humbled. You done broke me down now, but I understand it. I needed that, man. I needed every part of it. But he said, I'm taking you through a process where you learn to trust me with everything that you got. Anybody in that season, man, I'm just really ready to push my cart all the way to the front. God, just do what you will with it. Amen. And that's what he's telling me. I'm going to break you to the point. You're going to get to the point you're going to give me everything. I ain't even going to have to ask you no more. We ain't going to have to prime the pump to get you to worship me. I ain't going to do nothing because you're going to understand. We didn't trust it. We didn't lean it. And in all my ways, I'm acknowledging you. Lord, you're great.
Hallelujah.
You're great. You're awesome. He said he gives us a promise. He will go before you and make your path straight. So all the stuff you're going through in your life, he said, I will go and straighten that thing out. I will go straighten your relationship out. I will straighten that church out for you. I will straighten them jokers out on your job for you. Just wait and see. But think about it like this. If God is going before me, where am I at? I'm behind him, following him. But too many of us trying to get to the front. Come on, God, come on. He said, no, I'm going to go before your crazy tail because you don't know the way of which I have ordained for you. He said, I know the numbers of the hairs that you got on your head, even if you cut them off.
Come on.
I know how many you got. You think about a God that's that awesome. He said, I'm going to do this for you. But in the Old Testament, they did this. As the people would come through, the servants would go ahead and remove all the obstacles so the procession could come through smoothly. Brother James working a job, he goes down and he sees the potholes in the street. And he takes and puts something in there that allows us to go down the road smoothly. There's some roads he hadn't got to yet, clearly. But the point of it is this. God has given him what he needs to put into those holes to let us go down on a smooth trajectory as we go down the street. Because nobody wants to hit them bad chuck holes and stuff like that. So God gave him something. He's able to go down the street and make those things smooth. And that's what God is telling us. God is saying you did not need to start leaning. You got to trust me more. But then you got to acknowledge me for everything that I do in your life. God says, I need you to get to work. I need you to get to work for me because you don't understand in this season we in. We got folks sitting around depressed. They got all these different things going on in their life. But if you just trust me more, watch and see what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the tools that you need. But I just need you to be restored. Restored, brought back to me in every bit of your life. Watch and see what I'm going to do. Leave me vulnerable, Lord. I need it. I know I want everything worked out. I want everything put together in my life. But he said, through this season that you're going through, you got to go through it just a little bit longer. Because, see, we have got to be readjusted in our thinking. And once I get readjusted, then I'm going to come back to God with everything that I got. You notice how sometimes when we come in there and we get a blessing of God, boy, we'll run through here and trample down the carpet, won't we? But when we go into that season, we ain't quite hearing from God. We'll walk in and say, God's still working.
Amen.
He ain't stopped. You clocked out. He didn't.
That's right.
Hey, man. He said, I'm going to always be here. You are the one that readjusted yourself. I didn't tell you to put yourself in that position. You didn't read my word and get that. But he said, I got you. Don't worry about it. We just readjusted. We moving. We get to a whole nother place. Trusting the will of God. That's what we need to be. Trusting the will of God. Somebody here today is struggling with that thing. Lord, I say that I trust you. I really think that I do. I really don't. I really don't. God is asking you today, if you're struggling with that, let's stand to our feet today. Yeah, if you're struggling with that thing, let's come up and let's pray about this thing. Let's make sure we putting ourselves as vulnerable as we need to be. I know somebody, we worrying about the stuff we done charged up for our kids, don't care nothing about it after a week after we get it. No, we ain't worrying about that stuff. God, I made the decision. God, I just prayed you give me what I need to get out of it. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with whatever you tell me. God, if I walk in there Monday and they take my job, I'm fine with that. He said, when one door closes, another one opens.
Amen.
Ain't that what he said? I'm in the word, ain't I? All right. He's a spirit of the living God. Father, I thank you, Lord, for this season. I thank you, Lord, that we're able to come in here broken. Lord, just listening to you. Knowing, God, you putting this thing together for me. Father, I know I had to acknowledge you and everything that I've done. I'm sorry. Lord, I'm sorry for what I've done, against your name. Father, I pray right now that I trust you more. Lord, I lean to a point where I'm uncomfortable. I want to be to a place, Lord, where I just lean on you so much I can't even see where I'm going. Father, we just thank you right now for all the doors you've already opened, all those ones you've predestined for us. Just knowing, God, you're able. Father, we thank you, Lord, for this day. We thank you, Lord, for this time. Father, we thank you, God, for your spirit. Lift us up. Carry us, Father, as only you can. In Jesus' name we pray and give thanks. Amen. Can we give God another hand clap of praise?
Thank you for watching. Please come join us for worship every Sunday at 10 a.m. We are located at 40 West 40th Street, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46208. We are located inside of the Martin Luther King Jr. Center. Remember to stay connected and subscribe to our YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and website. Thank you and have a blessed week. God bless.